When we look back to the 1970s, otherwise known as the decade of disco, there are fashion lessons to be learned and others that we're more than happy to leave behind. The 70s brought us the death of Elvis Presley, the reign of Aretha Franklin, and the beginnings of Queen. Along with Freddie Mercury's androgynous, sparkling jumpsuits, we saw bell-bottom jeans on Pam Grier, hooded gowns and plunging necklines on disco queen Donna Summer, and caftans on Elizabeth Taylor.
Caftans to Elizabeth Taylor were everything. They were her blank canvas to be able to build on.
Tie-dye was part of the psychedelic aesthetic that blew up after icons like Janis Joplin donned the look at Woodstock in '69. In the 70s, tie-dye was particularly prominent at music festivals, appearing on dresses, jumpsuits, and cords. Adopted by the hippie movement, it remained a popular trend through the early years of the decade, eventually fading out with the other staples of psychedelic style. If there's one trend we're relieved didn't last through the ages, it's the skin-tight stretch fabric spandex. We do get it, the fabric was a no-brainer during the disco years, but it didn't die there. In the 70s, spandex was a staple on the club scene, where the idea was to wear body-hugging attire that allowed you to really groove. It was often worn in the form of bodysuits or jumpsuits, tight tops, and short shorts or hot pants.
I put on spandex once. I couldn't get it off for a week.
Beyond spandex, other essential elements of the disco look included platform heels and, of course, glitter, sequins, and huge hair. Spandex survived well into the 1980s, becoming the go-to for step classes and feel-the-burn sweat sessions before being mostly forgotten in the 90s, at least beyond the realm of activewear. We still see the fabric in our activewear where it belongs, but we're yet to have a spandex renaissance filtering into our wardrobes in the 2020s. That doesn't mean it can't happen, though. Hot pants aren't going anywhere this year, so anything from the 70s is fair game. Clogs date back way before the 1970s. Early wooden versions were first recorded in the Netherlands in the 13th century. Naturally, this historic footwear had been significantly adapted by the time it achieved peak popularity in the 70s, but the chunky silhouette remained the same. They were worn by men and women alike, part and parcel of the platform shoe trend that dominated the decade. The 1970s served as the backdrop of the second-wave feminist movement, during which women around the world embraced sexual equality and freedom. This was a departure from the conservative standards of 1950s fashion, inspiring a move toward more daring and liberated looks. The movement paved the way for pieces like the breezy crochet top to become super popular, as it was one of the many options that gave women the freedom to dress comfortably and have fun with their fashion without worrying about society's views on modesty. And tops weren't the only crocheted garments on the 70s fashion scene. It was used in everything from jumpsuits to bikinis.
Hair and makeup, hair and makeup, hair and makeup, hair and makeup, hair and makeup!
In terms of 1970s makeup looks, beauty reflected disco fever in a big way. Think shimmery eyes, luminous lips, and twinkling highlights. This sparkly aesthetic is still commonplace today, but one signature 70s look that you won't see in modern times without being tagged vintage or throwback is pastel eyeshadow. Periwinkle blue hasn't been a true eyeshadow staple since the 70s, when it ruled alongside white liner and unruly brows. Perhaps the most famous face to popularize pastel blue eyeshadow was It Girl Twiggy, who often wore the look with her signature bold feathered lashes in the 60s and 70s. Though we can appreciate this look from a historical perspective, it's difficult to imagine pastel eyes being the go-to for an entire decade. But that's the case with all trends. After all, future generations will more than likely look back at the concealer lips of the 2000s or 2023's negative space eyeliner and wonder what the heck we were thinking.